Hi everyone, I am Mr. Rupu Praveen, PhD scholar, Faculty of Nursing, Sri Ramchandran Institute of Higher Education and Research, Puru, Chennai. Here I created YouTube channel called Nursing Eminence. The aim of this channel is to help the nursing personnel, especially the trainee nurses and the student nurses, to understand the basic concepts in the subjects called research, statistics and management. So with this channel, definitely you will able to understand the core concepts in biostatistics, research and management, which are going to help you to do the research in a better way and to understand the concepts of management. So with this the aim, we created a channel called Nursing Eminence. This is the first class from the Nursing Eminence channel. So here I am going to start with the biostatistics subjects. Here I am going to discuss and orient you about the biostatistics in the under the concept of analysis. So we are going to proceed with the first class called Introduction to Analysis. The overview of the class. So at the end of this class, you will able to understand what is analysis, why it's so important to do analysis, what is the importance for the analysis, and there are certain concepts which are going to help you to understand the further classes which we are going to take in this channel. So we will proceed with this session. Data analysis. Why do we analyze data? Generally, to make sense of information or data we have collected, to make it sense in the sense, we are going to organize the information or the data which we collected to obtain a proper meaning for the data. So for that reason we used to do the analysis. To answer the research question, to answer the main research question, we are going to do analysis. For example, if you want to know the knowledge levels of the BSc first year students on hand washing, so here we are going to conduct one small study, and we will collect the information from the students, and finally we will come to one conclusion that what is their level of knowledge about hand washing. So whatever the data which we collected, we are going to analyze to obtain the answer for our research question. So that's why we are going to do analysis in the with the help of the statistics. What is variable? It's a big question for everyone. I used to ask so many students who used to approach me for the statistical analysis. The first question is, what is variable? Yes, few of them are very confident to answer what is the variable of their study, and few of them even they won't understand what is variable, or they don't know the clear concept of what is variable. Here I am going to help you to understand the concept of variable. What is variable? Is it something researcher or investigator want to examine, or he want to know, or he want to find out, or want to examine, test or check, or is it something about the participants or the sample, who they are, what they are? The answer is yes. So all these aspects can be considered as a variable. So for these questions, we are going to make a form where you can understand what is exactly the variable, and what kind of variable which you are going to use in your study. So variable, any characteristics that can assume a different value, an element or feature or fact that is liable to change. In this example, if you see the picture, here the different kinds of boards, there the size of the board and the color of the boards varies from one board to another board. So here the color of the board or size of the board will be the variable. Or an example, if you went to one community area, there you are going to collect the information about the family survey, household survey. So there we are going to ask about how many of them in the family, what is the size of the house and how many rooms are available. Look, each and every family, like every house, have different features. Maybe water supply, about drainage system, about electricity system. Here the house properties or a house features are considered as a variable, or how many members in the family. Like one family may have 5 members, one family may have 2 members, one family may have 6 members, or joint family, nuclear family, extended family. So all these are going to varies from one family to another family, or the education background of the family members vary from one person to another person. So that's why a variable or an element or feature or fact that is liable to change. For example, if you want to assess the knowledge of the staff nurses about what we can say bed bath, or freshly staff nurses about the bed bath. So here you want to do an intervention study where you are going to see the pre-test what is their level of knowledge, and after providing particular intervention or education you are going to see their level of knowledge. Definitely there will be some kind of change. I cannot say there will be a big change, or there may be some kind of change. That's why before the intervention and after the intervention. That's why here the knowledge is the variable where it going to change or liable to change before intervention and after the intervention. So that's a variable. Variable is the character that can assume different values. In the researchical or statistical term, we used to use these terms like demographic variables or background variable or sample characteristics about their education, gender, occupation. All these are considered as a demographic variables. And study variable or research variable, for example, your knowledge, practice, attitude, awareness, all these are considered as a study variable. Independent variable and dependent variable. These terms we can use specially in the experimental kind of designs. For example, a classical example of smoking causes lung cancer. Here, the smoking is the independent variable. The lung cancer or outcome is the dependent variable. Where the independent variable, the researcher can manipulate the variable, where he can manipulate to see the changes or the outcome on dependent variable. So dependent variable is the variable which depends on independent variable. If the smoking causes lung cancer, smoking is the independent variable and lung cancer is the dependent variable. Or if the investigator want to know how many cigarettes per day causes lung cancer, so he may manipulate, like for example he may provide 10 cigarettes or 20 packets of cigarettes. So where the researcher have the ultimate authority to change some, to do some manipulation in the variable, that is called independent variable. And the outcome variable is nothing but the dependent variable. Let us see there are different types of variables: qualitative variable or categorical variable, quantitative variable or numerical variable. Let us discuss in a brief way about these variables. Variable, mainly under variable we have two categories. One is numerical variable and categorical variable. Numerical or quantitative, categorical or qualitative. Again under numerical we have continuous variable and discrete variable. Again under categorical variable we have ordinal and nominal. Let us discuss in a brief way. The first one is qualitative variable or quantitative variable. It also has two categories. One is nominal. Nominal variable, it solves identification purpose only. Example: blood group, gender, religion. See, if you ask a question, what is your blood group? I will say B positive. Or if I ask you, you may say A positive or AB positive or O positive or O negative. What is your gender? Male or female or transgender? Religion: Hindu, Muslim or Christian. So these are the variables which serves for the identification purpose only. See, here the one more thing is we cannot put in order. I cannot say A positive blood groups are superior than B positive, OB positive blood groups are superior than O negative or O positive. So we cannot keep in order. Or I cannot say males are superior than females, or females are greater than males, no, or superior than males. No, we cannot put in order. There is no evidence. Even mutually exclusive. See, what is your blood group means I have to say B positive is my blood group. I cannot say A positive and B positive, and my blood group is AB positive or AB negative and O negative also. No. So every option is exclusive. I can, if you ask what is your blood group, you have to say any one blood group from this option. You cannot say my blood group is A and AB positive, like that. If you ask what is your gender, male or female, no, you cannot say I am male and female also. No. So that's why it serves for the identification purpose only. The next one under categorical is ordinal. It serves identification purpose. Example, job designation, education, paying scale and stages of one. It can be ordered. For example, hierarchy in our college, professor, assistant, associate professor, assistant professor, lecturer, like that. So there we can keep an order even based upon the education qualification like GNM, BSc, MSc, PhD, postdoctoral, where we can keep an order, even pain scale. What is your level of pain? Mild, moderate, severe, extremely severe, like that. Even stages of the wound, first stage, second stage, and third stage, fourth stage, etc. So we can place in order in the ordinal scale. That's ordinal order, ordinal order. And after that, the qualitative variable or numerical variable. Here we have discrete variable, a variable which can take only specified or finite number of values in a given range. Example, age. What is your age? Number of beds in the hospital, or number of days of hospitalization, number of tooth decay. For example, number of beds in the hospital is 600 bedded hospital, 700 bedded hospital, 1000 bedded hospital. We are providing a finite number to the number of beds. Or what is your age? I am 23 years old, or 22 years old, or 30 years old. So we are going to provide a finite number to the age. And number of days of hospitalization, how many days? 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 6 days. Like that we are providing a finite number. Number of tooths decayed, 2 tooths decayed, 3 tooths decayed, like that. You cannot say 1.5 tooth decayed or 2.5 tooth decayed. So we are providing a finite number or a particular number to the variable. That's why it is called discrete variable. And one more variable called continuous variable under the numerical. A variable which theoretically can take infinitely many values, infinitely many values in the given range. Example, in a given range of 120 to 200 centimeters height of the person can be 162.7 centimeters. For example, you went to one school where you did a conducted a school health program where you observe the height and weight of the school children. So the height and weight of the school children may differ from one children to another children. So that's where if you want to measure the height of the school children, so in the range of 120 to 200 you may find like 132.7 or 162.7, 153.7. So we can take definitely many values in the given range, even weight of the person, or we can say RBS value, or what we can say, even hemoglobin level, FBS values, all are considered as a continuous variable only. So far we discussed about what is analysis, and what is a variable, and what are the different types of variables which we are going to use in our research aspect, and qualitative variable, and there are mainly two types, qualitative or quantitative variable. Again, under categorical we have nominal and ordinal. Under the numerical we have discrete and continuous variables. So this is about the first class of the channel. So I am saying, no, this variable, understanding the concepts of variable is very important, which is really going to help you to understand the future classes as well as about your own research which you are going to do or which you are conducting. So this is very important for you. In the next class we are going to I am going to discuss about measurement scales. So based upon certain properties, the variables can be placed as a measurement scales also. So there are certain rules can be considered, so which we are going to discuss in the next class. So thank you for the watching and signing out. Bye.